So I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day, night, wherever you are, is going to get better once your perception gets better. And at first, I was a little hesitant to do this video, but then a part of me was like, nope, do the video. So for me, making content is very therapeutic. Okay, it's very therapeutic for me. Also is, I go back to my videos. I watch my videos. Okay, I watch my own videos. I know my oldest son, who is 20 years old. I remember one day he had said to me, he was like, "Why do you watch your videos?" Because I feel as though I could learn something from my own videos as well. So this video really came about because um earlier today, right, I was, laying in the bed, and I came across a video by Billy Carson, right? And this video, it talked about manifestation, and the way he was very detail oriented. And Billy Carson, he has a channel on YouTube, I believe it's called Forbidden Knowledge. And when I was watching his video, he talked about how to manifest and certain things to do in order for you to manifest the life and stay at a high vibration in order for you to manifest. So, in order for us to manifest certain things, right, or whatever it is that we say we want to manifest, first of all, you got to be at a high vibration as that thing. I had said that time and time again in my videos. And if you are filled with hatred, if you are filled with, just anger, bitterness, sadness, depression, whatever it is like that, it will kind of be difficult for you to manifest these things, okay? The things that you desire, the things that you truly want. And so, a lot of you guys, if you have been watching my content for a minute, I had told this story about how I first got started on this journey. And it was through just wanting better for my life. Okay. I was going through mental illness, experiencing, right? And I just wanted better for my life. And so I always was on a search to get better, to find better. I didn't know how better was going to come about, but I just felt like I deserved better from life. And I remember I came across a video. For some of you guys who've been watching me, you done have heard this story so many times, but for the new people, let me just give you just a quick backstory. So I've been a part of religion. I was a Hebrew Israelites, Muslim, used to go to a Baptist church. I was all of that, okay? But a part of me felt like by me being a part of those religions, I was looking for answers. I was seeking information. I wanted my life to change. And so I was willing to do whatever it was that was going to cause me change, right? So if people say, "Oh, well, you go to church every Sunday, your life is going to be better." Honey, I was going to church. If somebody said, "Well, if you look up, if you search for information and stuff like that, you seek, ye shall find," your life is going to get better. So I always was pretty much a person that seeked out information, seeked out knowledge just to better my life, right? And from me doing all of that, doing the religions and stuff like that, I seen that it didn't work for me. Not saying that it don't work for nobody else. What we have to come to terms and grips with is our lives are all different. Okay. Every path that we tend to walk is different. Our journey is different. Okay. And so when I tried the different religions, it didn't work for me. So then I got into spirituality. I didn't know nothing hardly about spirituality. I came across a post, well, a video from rapper B.O.B., who pretty much talked about spirituality, talked about Kundalini energy, vibrations, frequencies, and just the whole 9 yards, right? And I was so intrigued by that video, not so much of, like the information, because some of the information, I didn't even understand what the hell he was saying. It was like some of the stuff, it was foreign. But what really captured me was, one, the idea of him saying that, once you start becoming aware and knowing who you are, you're not going to need anybody outside your existence. And for me, that did something for me because up until that point, I always heard, if you want your life to be better or if you seeking God, you got to go out there and get it, right? So everything been pretty much pushed like God is outside of you, things that's gonna happen, the love is outside of you. And when I heard rapper B.O.B. say everything is within and you're not gonna need nobody to, pretty much tell you whatever. Same exact thing for us like the weather, right? I don't watch the news. I don't watch the weather. I go based upon what I see. Okay, what I see, or if I go outside, I feel like really, really cold, then that means that I need to come back upstairs. A lot of this is just pretty much common sense. But we've been so programmed to listen to things that's outside our existence that we don't even use one, our intuition. Two, we don't even listen. We don't look at our experiences, right? Being aware or observing the things that we tend to do in life. A lot of times we just listen to people outside of our existence, and then we wonder why our lives aren't working the way that person's life was working. And the reason being is because your journey is different. Your life is different. Everybody's life is going to look completely different. Okay. And that brings me to my point as far as the vision, right? So after I had that, after I listened to rapper B.O.B., I had went to the supermarket because I came across this video of all these. It was this one guy, I believe he's like a Asian descent, and he was talking about fruits, right? Fruits and plant-based and, eating healthy. But prior to that, what's so funny about it is a few years ago, I had seen Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, okay, who's a big YouTuber. And I remember I had heard him talk about, certain foods not to eat. And when I seen the video, I probably watched 5 minutes of the video and then I left the video. But then later on, due to my life experience, a lot of times we tend to have a 360, 365, 364, whatever it is, a full circle, all right, a complete circle. And it's because what we had learned in the beginning or what we had heard, right, during that time, maybe you wasn't necessarily there to be receptive to the information. Or maybe the information is a part of your journey, right? But because it don't make sense to you yet, like later on the universe to have you go circle that thing back around and you'll have a 360 and an aha moment like, oh my goodness, I remember I watched this person, so long ago, whatever, right? So I was watching all these different, it was like I just became obsessed. I was binge watching and it was this Asian guy talking about fruits. I believe he lived, I don't know, it looked like he lived probably, I don't know. But where he lived at, he had like a coconut tree. And he would go to the tree and just get all his coconuts. And he said that would give him electrolytes that would help him stay hydrated and things of that nature. So I was fascinated by that. And then from me watching his videos, and he brought a few people onto his platform and just was asking people, what are some of the things that you take? What are some of the supplements that you take? People were saying that they took cacao powder. People were saying they took spirulina. People were saying that they don't rinse their fruits or their veggies because if it's organic, they don't want to lose the minerals or whatever it was like that. But organic stuff is sprayed, okay? It's not sprayed heavily as non-organic, but organic stuff is sprayed. And some of my stuff I don't rinse, okay? So anywho, I was like really, really fascinated by that. But I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Prior to me watching and going back to this, right? In what year was that? Probably 2010. I want to say 2010 or 11, somewhere around that time. Honey, don't quote me on the time because I forget. I had because I was going through the whole mental illness, suffering or experiencing, I like to say experiencing anxiety and depression. I was looking for a natural remedy, right? And I went to a psychologist prior to that. The psychologist, he had gave me some pills. The pills, it definitely took me out of my element. I felt strange. I felt weird. It felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like real zombie-ish. Okay. So then, and it's funny because when I went to the psychologist, he took blood work and he pretty much asked me, and this is where everything ties into everything. So he took blood work and he said, nothing in your blood work indicates, anything is going on with you. And he asked me, he said, are you dealing with any stress? Anything that's related to stress, because it got so bad to the point where as though I couldn't go to work. Okay. At that time I was working at a hardware store. I just couldn't go to work because I felt, I was nervous. I was anxious. I felt unlike myself. And so he took the blood work and everything like that. Came back, everything came back, normal or whatever. And then he prescribed some pills. The pills, the dosage, it was very, very high. And then later on, I heard about this other psychologist, and I started going to her. And she was of African descent. Not that, that really matters, but I started going to her, and she prescribed some Xanapran. I think I forget the names, but it was like 2 prescriptions she prescribed. And when I was taking those prescriptions due to me experiencing the anxiety and depression, I felt okay. At times at night, I couldn't really sleep like that though. So then she told me to switch the medication, right? Instead of taking that medication at nighttime, take it in the daytime, whatever. So from me working, still going back to work, because for a while she took me out of work, and I believe that was like the universe way of saying, even way back then, okay, that I had a bigger purpose. I had a bigger something bigger in me than the way I was showing up. Okay. And when I was taking the medication, it was a girl who I worked with who basically said to me, she said, me and I was playing. And she said, you aggressive. And I knew I wasn't aggressive. I knew that wasn't my natural state. I knew, I'm a sweetheart. Okay. At times I could get sassy, but for the most part, I'm a sweetheart. And I knew something was off. Up until this day, I don't know if she was joking or what, but I believe the universe sort of used her to let me know that I was off, right? And so I had went back to the psychologist and, explained to her, like, what was going on. She lowered the dosage and stuff like that. And a part of me just felt like, why do I have to take medicine? Like, I always question things, even since I was a little kid, I always question stuff because certain things just did not sit well with me. It didn't make sense. And so what happened was I had, I had this question lingering in my mind, like, I gotta take medication in order for me to make a living, in order for me to work. Now, granted, I was on Section 8 at that time. My food stamps had stopped because, I was working at a hardware store, and the money that I was making, it was okay, right? So that lingered in my mind for a while. Like, why do I have to take medication just to do normal activity? It didn't make sense to me. And so I was doing research, and then I had stopped taking the medication. You do what works for you. This is my experience. I'm just sharing my journey with you guys. But I had stopped taking the medication. I was going through a lot. My mother was staying with me at that time. And then me and my mother, we would have disagreements. And then I was messing also with a married man, okay? Because my self-image, it was so low that that's the best that I thought that I can get, right? And so I just pretty much settled. I wouldn't stand up for myself. I had like people that I was close to. I was the type that, although I don't agree with it, some of the things that they may have said or did, like I will go along with it just so, I could be liked. Or, sometimes people would say in my family, like, oh, you're not going to have no good luck or whatever it is, whatever, right? So from there, I stopped taking the medication, and then I had started going, it was like just the downhill. Now, mind you, this is like 2010, 2010 or 2012. It was just like my life just was going downhill. It was like so much shit that was going on in my life. I didn't understand why it was going on in my life. And so I started doing research, and then I wanted to take something natural, like a natural remedy, right? And at this time, I'm doing the research and stuff like that. I come across Dr. Sebi, okay? And Dr. Sebi is pretty much saying, the body is, if the body has disease, can't stay in the body if it's no mucus, right? But to me, I was just on looking at, always eager for information just to change my life. And at this time, I just wanted something to change my life, change my state of mind, change. I just wanted something to fix me, right? Because I felt like I was so broken. I just wanted something to fix me. And so I was looking at natural remedies. I started getting introduced while I started eating healthier, started eating cleaner, stopped eating meat, okay, because I was thinking, I was hearing so much like the meat is associated with trauma when an animal is killed, all this stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop eating meat and stuff like that. So later on, I had went through the whole thing, like my grandmother passed away, whatever. I had, was this the time she passed away? Yeah, I believe. No, this wasn't the time she passed, or maybe it was. I'm trying to figure it out because I know I had went through a miscarriage and everything like that, and I called the psychologist and I was like, I need something, whatever, and she prescribed the medication and stuff. This time she prescribed something different, and then it was like two other, I believe it was like 4 pills or something like that. And I asked her, do the medication that I take, do it cause withdrawal effects? Because that was something big. Although, yeah, I want help and stuff like that, but I was like, do it cause withdrawal effects? And she said, yeah, 2 of them do. And so I said, because I never wanted to be dependent on anything. I've seen people during my upbringing that was addicted to drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. So to me, it was something weird. So I never want to be addicted to anything outside my existence. I want to be able to, control. And at this time, I didn't even know about perception and none of that. All of this was so to speak, foreign to me. Fast forward, I didn't take the pills, and I started taking this medication. Well, it's like natural remedies, and it's called True Calm. Started going to this herbalist where I live at, not too far from where I live, and I started finding out about herbs, and I would just go there, constantly to get some True Calm. And basically, True Calm is to calm your nerves and stuff like that. It's not going to be like quick, like as the medication is, because, with the herbs, it has to get in your system and stuff like that. And also, depending on what you're eating, I believe that plays a factor too on how fast it could go into your system. So, anywho, all of that. Then I stopped eating meat for a while. Like stopped eating meat. Then later on, this was like, all right, so fast forward to, I want to say 2018, when I had my spiritual awakening, right? I was sitting in the living room, right? In my living room over here. And from me hearing rapper B.O.B. talking about manifestation and perception, and we have the free will to create whatever type of life we want to create, and meditation. Meditation to me, it was very foreign. I never heard anybody growing up talk about meditation, but I was so eager and so desperate to get something different in my life that I was willing to take the necessary steps in order to find out about meditation. And so I watched a video on YouTube about people meditating and stuff like that, did a guided meditation. When I first started off meditating, I would do guided meditations because I didn't know if I was doing it correct or right or wrong. And to the person that's out there that's like, I want to slow my mind down. I want to, I want to stop ruminating so much. When you meditate, of course, you're going to have 1,000 and something odd thoughts, okay? Because that's just the way the mind is. You're going to have so many thoughts. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. I used to think that, if I'm doing it this way, then that's wrong. If I'm doing it that way, no, there's no wrong or right way to meditate. And the whole objective is for you to be still, okay? For you to be still, for you to be present in the here and the now moment. When your mind is ruminating, even when you're meditating, it's for you to bring yourself back to the present moment. You could listen to, you can have music playing or something, soft. You could pay attention to the air conditioner, help you focus on the here and the now moment, right? So all of that happened. I started meditating and stuff like that. And I had got a download, right? For me to do videos and to get people out the matrix. And at first, when I first heard this, I was like ashamed to even say like get people out the matrix because I felt like people would be like, she must be watched the Matrix. I have watched the Matrix. But during this time, I didn't watch the Matrix. And this is what tends to happen and how you got to listen to your intuition. As I'm sitting meditating, the idea just came, make videos, get people out the matrix. I didn't have a goddamn clue on what that looked like. I didn't know what that even meant. I mean, I watched the Matrix and, whatever, but I didn't have like really a step process on how to do this or, a guide like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. So what I did was I was eating healthy. I was, I remember the guy who I was with. I was so grateful. And this is how I knew like my energy and everything, it started shifting and it started changing because I had so much love in my heart. So much love in my heart. And it was just because I was detoxing. At that time, I didn't know I was detoxing from the things that I was watching on television. Because before I used to be watching Lifetime, I used to be watching Real Housewives and all this other stuff. But this time I was detoxing. I was detoxing my mind. And from me detoxing my mind, I was listening to Infinite Waters, listening to rapper B.O.B., listening to even Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey talked about manifestation as well. And I was listening to those people at that time, right? And I just, the guy who I was with, I remember I was like, I want to eat healthier. He had went to this market that's close to my house, and I remember he had brought pineapples, he had brought bananas, like he brought all like fresh stuff. And then I had went probably like the next month I had ordered some stuff off of Drive Market because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna order some stuff from Drive Market. The stuff is, inexpensive compared to what you would buy the stuff at, as if you was getting stuff from Whole Foods. So I started ordering that stuff, and I remember up until this day how grateful and full of gratitude I was when I received the order from Drive Market. And it was basic stuff. It was like tomatoes. It was garbanzo noodles. It was like really, really basic stuff. And I was so full of gratitude. I was so full of love. Like I just was so excited. It was my life was simple, whatever. And so when I say the vision wasn't given to no one else, it was given to you. I mean what I say. Sometimes in life you may feel like, well, other people, they eat this way and they are prosperous, they are successful, or whatever it is like that. Like I said, your journey is your journey. Your journey is different, right? And that's something that I go through with myself because I'm like, well, it's a lady that I know, she's like, she have so much money. And I'm like, she eat like, not for nothing, and I'm not judging, but she eat like crab. And I'm like, she's a content creator and stuff like that. But then it's like, well, do you want your life to look like hers? Right? And then I start seeing certain things that's in her life, that's going on in her life. And it's not judging, this just observation, observing. And the answer is no, I don't want my life to look like her life. Okay. Although her life, maybe a certain type of way, but my life is my life. My journey is my journey. And that's the thing that I think for many of us, it sort of trips us up because we watch somebody else's life and we like, well, how come they able to do this? Or how come they able to do that? How come? And then it's like you was given a vision, okay? You was given a vision to do something, and your vision, it don't look like no one else's vision, okay? Your perception, our perception is all different. None of our perception is going to be the same, okay? Because we all been through different things, different adversities, different trials and errors. So everything is going to be different. And so that's some of the things that, I was telling myself as I was taking the food out. And this is what really made me do the video. So as I was, taking the food out, throwing the meat out and stuff like that, it was a part of me that was like recorded, right? And then there was another part of me that was like, you're gonna face judgment, like people gonna be like, somebody else could have used that meat or whatever. It was like that. It was a part of me, even if it was like I could call my homegirl and see if she want this stuff. But then I started thinking, like, if I'm not putting it in my body, right, and if I'm throwing it out, why would I want to give her something that is not healthy, right? That's not the best, right? Although it's well caught, it was fish, it was well caught, and then it was some cold cuts and stuff like that, and it wasn't a lot of stuff. Okay, it was like 2 little bags of meats and stuff, and that came to my mind. And then also what came to my mind afterwards, I went back because my plan is to be off social media. I keep getting these downloads, get off social media for a few days, whatever. And sometimes I could be hard-headed. I could be a little stubborn at times. But I had this idea, and I know it's the ego, right? The ego, like, oh well, go back, because after I post the videos, I deleted it. I posted it on TikTok, Facebook, whatever. I deleted the apps. And then a part of me was like, go back and see, the ego. Go back and see, what people saying or whatever it is. And then I go back, nobody can say nothing, right? And it was a part of me that was like, dang, the ego again, ain't no comments, ain't no likes or nothing. And then as I was taking my twist out, what came to my mind was, Dina, you did not do this for them. You did this for you. And I think a lot of times we have to really remind ourselves, like, why we do the things that we tend to do. And not to get so caught up on, well, I'm doing this because of expectation. But do it just because it feels the right thing to do. And because you got a download to do it, but not because you expect something. Like when I first recorded me taking the stuff out, it wasn't like, oh, I'm recording it. The reason I recorded me throwing the meats and stuff out because I wanted to document my journey. Okay, and I wanted to remember and look back on how far I have come when I go back, because all of videos I make on my page is uh is I wasn't gonna say documentaries, but is like my journey, right? Me recording my whole journey, and I go back and I watch my videos. So to you out there that feels like, well, you know what? I was given this vision, but this person, they doing the opposite of the vision that I was given, and they successful. That doesn't mean, first of all, you don't really know what people are going through within, right? Because especially on social media, we could watch so many different people and we could be like, damn, they seem like they winning. They seem like they so excited. They so happy and stuff like that. You don't know exactly how that person really feel in the inside. When I was dressed up to the T and, I had the creamy crack in my hair or I had the weave in my hair and I was dressed up and face was beat to the gods, okay, I was depressed. I was so unhappy, okay? And somebody from the outside looking in, right? They probably have feel like, ooh, it seemed like she got it all together. But the inside, I felt like everything was falling apart. Why? Because my perception. My perception. If you think you're not enough, guess what? The outside is going to reflect how you in fact really feel about yourself. That you don't think you're enough. If you think that you are, if you know that you are full of confidence, if you know that the universe is working in your favor, if you know that things that you always want to manifest, it is always happening, then it'll reflect that. Like you will walk confidently, you will be full of confidence, and confidence doesn't mean like um like, oh, you're not going to be afraid, because certain things that we tend to do, and that's where bravery come from. It comes from us doing things that we may be terrified to do. I know that's right. I know that's right. Oh, family, I apologize, honey. I was being nosy. They was out there arguing with the people who live downstairs. Okay. So, yeah, it's really about you being aware of your journey, and my journey is the law of rhythm, right? Is days where as though I'm up, some days I'm, is never gonna be at an even still. And no matter what it is that you tend to do, me being plant-based, okay, speaking it, me being plant-based is, it doesn't stop me from getting certain things in life. But one of the things that I am going to tell you is, when I eat healthier, okay, I feel better. Okay. When I eat healthier, is something, and I got this from Infinite Waters. One of the things he said was, peace starts on your plate. Peace starts on your plate. And is so true, because the animals and stuff that's butchered and everything like that, right? They go through this stage of fear. And a lot of times we have fear within us. And sometimes, yeah, it could be our fear, but sometimes it's also the fear from the things that we are putting in our body that is changing our DNA. Okay. And so, I just want to be I'm just gonna be of inspiration. I'm gonna document my journey. I'm gonna share with you guys, the things that tend to help me out. But I want the person out there that's watching other people journey to understand that, listen, you got something in you just as great as everyone else. Also, your journey is different. Your path is different. The vision that was given to you, it was given to you. It was not given to anyone else. And in the words of Lisa Nichols, one of the things she says was that when we have like a spiritual pregnancy, right? Like a vision. That vision was only given to us. And nobody is going to know how your craft or your gift is going to unfold, right? Like it's going to be something beautiful. It's going to be something beautiful, but nobody will ever know if you don't step into it, if you don't rock out to it, if you don't do the things that was placed within you. And your gift, you don't have to work so hard, is not outside of you, is all within you. So I hope you guys got something from this video. I'm about to head out to Whole Foods. I love you guys. Keep on rocking out. Keep on believing in yourselves. And know that it is something phenomenal. It's something great. It's something magnificent within you, each and every one of us. And your journey is your journey, and it's unique, and it's beautiful. Is the unfolding of it. Is the chaos. Is like the it's like, it's chaotic, right? At times it could be chaotic, but then it's something so magnificent and beautiful that is developed in the process. So trust your process and do understand there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And with that being said, I love you guys. Peace.